You can see them, and they're going to get to work. Let's head down to the feature match area right here, right now, for the finals of GP Birmingham. Hello, my friends, and welcome to live coverage of GP Birmingham. One last match remaining between Simon Nielsen and Leo Lahonen. My name's Riley Knight. I'll be calling this game with the assistance of my good friend and colleague, the Hall of Famer, Raphael Levy. Raf, so kind of you to join us here for this final match, and these two players getting things underway with a very cordial handshake.
The pre-game handshake, the best.
The best kind of handshake?
The best kind.
Not even outclassed for you by the Game 1 handshake?
No, this is a good one.
Solskjaer Mage opening things up here for Nielsen, with Lahonen opening with the account with a tapped land, and a search for counter with him, a good start.
Solskjaer Mage not as good as Bomet Courier in a matchup like this. Considering the prowess mechanic on this on Solskjaer Mage, he's not going to be as good as against other creature decks, because most of the spells from Simon's deck are removal spells. And there's no target for the removal spell, so he won't be able to play them.
Nielsen's not going to be able to fire them off and get in for extra damage there, and also isn't going to be able to use this one drop to reload his hand. But of course, Bomet Courier, we said it was a sacrifice that Nielsen made to improve his stock against the Chain Whirler decks at the format, and maybe that's what got him into the top 8 ultimately.
I can definitely think that. The Magma Spray would be a +1/+1. He can Magma Spray his own Soulscar Mage just to get in there for just one more point of damage.
Little Hornet Sting.
Yep.
All right, well, we're attacking now for 4, but here's the first of many sealaways for Leo Lahonen. Sailing away to the Virgin Sea there as the Solskjaer Mage gets in for another 1 point. And that is a very good answer to the Scrap Heap Scrounger, which won't be coming one Mulgeen back from the graveyard anymore.
Not in this game. Yep. And Black-Red, virtually no answers to enchantments.
I think
in play.
Actual 0 in this matchup here. And now Lahonen hitting his land drops.
Well, there are if you sacrifice the artifacts. If you sacrifice the Scrounger before it's enchanted.
Oh, sure, but so like to an
when it's in play, once in play, not enchanting something, but well, the exiling effect from these enchantments, it's too late.
I think it just gets it done. The job done. There you go. Nielsen now.
Are these 4 lands in Simon's hand?
I think so. I think we've got Swamp, Mountain, Spire of Industry. And a Goblin Chain Whirler, the final card here for Nielsen.
One of them is cycling, so...
I don't know. I don't think he's holding a Canyon Slayer.
Yeah, I think it's one.
Is one of them a Canyon Slayer there?
Behind the Chain Whirler.
All right. Well, at least that is going to provide a little bit extra oomph here. Now, Nielsen keeping the Pierre back, obviously, as a way to play around.
This is the strength of this white-blue.
Settle the record. Settle the record here.
Settle the record.
Settle the record.
Yeah.
Let's settle the record here.
That's one of the strengths of white-blue. Even if you don't have it, they think you do.
And you always have it.
You always have it.
Except when you don't, you always have it.
And now he just saved 2 damage here because, well, he didn't have it.
And Nielsen just getting all those permanents in order there. He's shaped up. Look at that. Hair pulled back. Smart new set of glasses.
Yeah, that was
beard on his scone as well. Looking very sharp indeed. The Dane very rarely without a smile on his face. Simon Nielsen, a very, very difficult person to dislike. And it's great to see him seeing some success once again. He slept through his alarm this morning, if you'll believe it. He had picked up 2 losses throughout the entire tournament. One was to Mono Black Control. Just today. One was to Mono Black Control, and the other was to his alarm clock.
Yeah, it's pretty good player, that one.
Not a bad the alarm clock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh mate, I've got such a horrific record against my alarm clock, as you know.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Dragged me out of bed by my ankles this morning. Goblin Chain Whirler eating up a disallow there.
Turn 1 search is going to be such an advantage if he when gets to flip it.
Yeah, and it looks like that'll be happening in the foreseeable future here. No fetch lands, of course, to juice it up, but nonetheless, plenty of stuff to put in the bin. And Teferi.
Teferi turned 5.
The hero of Dominaria, and certainly the hero of this GP for Leo Lahonen. It's white-blue control.
Turned 6, sorry.
Huge.
Yeah, he was on the play since he was Simon ended up 8th seeded in this top 8.
And Lahonen now is holding up a disallow thanks to that Field of Ruin. Nielsen looking to press forward with a little bit more action. Here's another P and a La, but a disallow from Lahonen once again, keeping the battlefield as clear as possible. This does offer Nielsen the opportunity to attack. Put some more pressure on Teferi, or are we going to go upstairs here? The Dane has to think about it.
Yeah, that doesn't look good for Simon here. Like with the land and the unlicensed disintegration, these are two very useless cards. Facing a Teferi on 5 and very little pressure.
And we talked about this. 9 cards in the deck list of Simon Nielsen. A full 15% of his deck, Raf, just does nothing.
Yeah, 9 cards.
15% less power.
Yeah, 9 out of 20, 60.
Yeah.
That's 15.
15%.
All right.
Yep. His effective deck size effectively reduced there by 15%.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want.
No. So
those
not
cards are just
flipping, not
blank piece of
flipping
cardboard.
the search, drawing a Settle the Wreckage to take off the 2 lone attackers.
We talked earlier in the day about Lahonen opting not to play something like a Torrential Gearhulk, and these are the situations in which you can see why. There are a number of reasons, not only Cast Out, Seal Away obviously being enchantments that can't be flashed back, not only Pull from Tomorrow as a draw spell that's pretty useless with old Torrential Gearhulk, but on top of that, just blanking every card from Fatal Push upwards all the way to Unlicensed Disintegration, Vraska's Contempt. I mean, not Vraska's Contempt, because obviously it can deal with the Planeswalkers, excuse me, but
A
still...
braid game 1.
It's just it's really canny deck building from Leo Lahonen, and I have to say I have been puzzled by his play at some points throughout this weekend. So have you, Raf. He's been playing in a way that is certainly.
I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
He's been playing in a very unorthodox way, but from go to woe, this guy's just been hitting his straps. And I tell you what, really impressed a lot of us here on Team Coverage for his for the way that he's navigated this tournament. And tonight, I don't know what you're having for dinner, Raf, but I know that I don't know if I'm going to have a main course, but definitely an entree of my own words.
All right.
I'll be eating them up.
All right.
Are you not familiar with the saying, eating your own words?
No.
Manger le mot.
Ses propres mots?
Yeah.
I guess. I see what you mean, yeah.
Here's Chandra Torch Defiance. See what Lahonen has to say about that. Got to syncopate at least, so if he doesn't want it to hit the battlefield, it's not going to.
Are they good?
My words?
Yeah.
The finest.
Are they tasty?
The finest words, all the way from Australia. No, they're generally pretty garbage, actually.
Chandra resolving.
Okay, mountain off the top here. Lahonen not worried about the extra pressure this Planeswalker represents. I'm not sure what his plan to deal with her is.
No, he can just
to ferry her.
Sell here, sell the wreckage, and to ferry her.
But that also involves losing the Teferi.
How?
-3.
No, but not this turn. Next turn.
Okay, next turn.
He can give him another draw.
Just let the Chandra hang out.
How does that? How's that relevant? No, just 2 more points. That's okay. He'll manage.
Yeah. All right. Tidy stuff from Lahonen, using his life as a resource here.
Yeah, he did not want to tap out for syncopate.
And it seems like Simon Nielsen, I'm not 100% sure how many lands he had in play when he started the turn.
No, he got 2 more lands from. I think he had 6 or 7.
Did he? It seems like at this stage he may have played an extra land. Oh, no, perhaps not.
I don't know.
Okay. Remaining unclear here. If that's the case, both players seem to have missed it. I think the swamp was already in play when the turn began.
Yeah, definitely, because I remember that.
Yeah, the swamp was in play. Okay, so the swamp wasn't played this turn.
So he probably played the
played the
Dragon Summon,
and then 2
he
extra
got-
mountains now from
yeah.
the Settle the Wreckage. Teferi upstairs, just as you said. And how much better would this Chandra be if it could contest the Teferi?
It would be a little better.
She did get nerfed here. A little bit of a nerf ski, and not often something you see with Magic cards. Often, they're either banned or they're not. They don't get nerfed.
Are you on a card that's been nerfed like right before tournament?
Oh, yeah?
That totally changed the whole tournament. I'm going to go over that quickly. Abeyance.
Abeyance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like over the night before the tournament, totally got nerfed.
Is that right?
Yeah. First it said your opponent cannot use any abilities, and then included lands. So you would do that during up. You couldn't cast any. You couldn't cast any spell at all. Like you would just time walk, draw a card.
Okay, it seems pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right. Here's a Soulscar Mage now for Nielsen after the Chain Whirler gets Essence scattered.
And the day before the tournament, they said, no, actually, you can't tap lands
You
for
can't
to cast creatures.
All right. Seems a bit more reasonable now. Speaking of reasonable, Leo Lahonen's going to be very happy with this. His Azcanta finally flips. And that, in conjunction with the Teferi, means, well,
That's
3 extra cards a turn. 4 cards a turn.
Yeah. So just, I'll let you explain how it works.
Oh, no, please, go ahead.
All right. So he chose 1 extra card with Teferi on his turn, just with the +1 ability. He uses Kanta to look at the top 4 cards of his library and pick 1 from there. And at the end of his turn, he would untap Azcanta, netting him another activation on his opponent's turn. Pretty sweet interaction, especially when your opponent is far behind and not putting much pressure. The other option here is to just -3 Teferi to deal with Chandra for a couple turns. But he is firmly in control here, so he just draws the other card, and he's not really concerned by the looming threat of Chandra.
The thing is here that, quite aside from the Teferi being able to tuck away the Chandra whenever Lahonen chooses, he has so many onboard answers to Chandra ticking up. He can take 2 a turn for a while, it's no bother, and then can disallow the ultimate, can use a cast out to remove the Chandra. It's not contesting any of his actual permanents anymore, so Lahonen's life total, while a little bit under siege here, he's not too worried about it.
The only thing that would be good would be a Ballista for a Gazillion.
Soulscar Mage is going to come in now. Whoa, for 2 points of damage.
But now I think he's just setting up his Pull from Eternity here.
Pull from Tomorrow.
Pull from Eternity is another card. It's not as good.
No.
Not as good.
Pull from, well...
What it would do? Oh, it would actually save a Scrounger. Is that what it does? Put an exiled card in the graveyard. I think that's what it does. Pull from Eternity. It's a white card from Time Spiral.
And it looks like...
face-up card that's removed from the game into... Yeah. So you would actually save a... Well, that's not at all in the format, but that's...
Great. Well, I'm glad we're discussing it. Here's an unlicensed Disintegration.
Pull from Tomorrow. Pull from Tomorrow. Draw X cards. Much better in this situation.
And it looks like this unlicensed Disintegration may be targeting one of Nielsen's own creatures. Yeah, he's rekindling Phoenix. Gonna get a...
Oh, he's Phoenix. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Gonna get an elemental token to replace that Phoenix there. So what's the plan there?
It's just to pump one more, from 1 more damage, and to maybe save to force Leo to sacrifice his. Oh no, he cannot actually use his Teferi to deal with Chandra.
So he's a pull from Tomorrow for 7.
So he needs either Teferi or a cast out.
See what he can find. The top 7 cards of his library. Bloody hell. It's a lot of cards.
That's Teferi.
All right.
So Chandra will be dealt with.
So Lahonen now untaps. Trigger Azcanta. Puts a card in the bin. So a little Scry Engine there. The search is a May ability. Doesn't have to flip it. Can just use it as a sort of Scry Engine there. Going to draw for the turn as well here.
Oh, he has 2 Teferis actually. And there's always this hope that they draw nothing.
Yeah,
but they draw so many cards.
So many cards. They draw 7 lands off the top. It's not happening, man.
Plus the Scry.
Yeah.
If they don't actually draw the card to beat you, I mean you're just too lucky.
Too lucky.
Too lucky.
Too lucky for the face of this earth. So
here,
Teferi upstairs.
And another draw from this.
Oh, jeez. And it's now, look at this. Gideon of the Trials.
If you want to know the definition of full grip,
yep,
that's it. It's not 7 cards, it's 15 cards.
15 cards by the look of things for Lahonen here. He's got about that many in hand. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, crossing his legs like, oh yeah, well let's take it easy. Let's
relax here a little bit.
Let's figure it out.
Just chill out. Look at this. Looks like he's reading a book. It really does. It looks like he's sitting waiting for a bus reading a book. That was interesting. Okay. What's going to happen in the next chapter here?
I think next chapter is by Chandra. It's the Goodbye, Chandra. That's the next chapter.
Chapter 17. Goodbye, Chandra. Leo Lahonen played a Gideon of the trials. This wasn't great for Simon Nielsen, as it knocked out his Soulscar mage. The Dane was having trouble seeing how this game would end profitably for him. But as the match was untimed during the finals, he was going to play to his final out.
Oh, and the weird thing is that he's not even saying goodbye to Chandra because he has a disallow as well. So he can just counter the ultimate ability. He can also counter the Phoenix ability.
So sculpting that
that's just
perfect
gross.
hand now is Leo Lahonen.
When you thought you only had 7 outs with 3 Teferis and 4 cast outs, or like 6 outs with cast out and Teferi, you actually had a million more because you had the disallows as well, and the Stone Cold Bluff. Say, oh, I don't have it, go. And it's like, maybe I have a disallow, and your opponent doesn't actually activate the ultimate, even if you don't have it. Hashtag never have it.
Hashtag never have it. Oh, they never have it.
They never have it.
Except when they always have
Yeah.
it. I'd like to bring back my Rekindling Phoenix, said Simon. That's fine, said Leo. I don't have anything in my hand. I discarded all my good cards, as you saw when you looked through my graveyard. Simon laughed. I'm going to draw a card for my turn, he said. No worries, said Leo. I'm still going to crush you into the dirt with this full grip of great cards I have in hand. Simon sighed. It's really not looking that good for me, he said. Lahonen agreed with a nod.
With a second nod. And a third. Until Simon scooped his cards. So here is Simon considering activating Chandra. Is there any other turn he can actually do it? Like, would Leo actually pass the turn not having a disallow in hand?
In comes the Rekindling Phoenix to one of these creatures. Nielsen going after them. Gonna crack some skulls here.
It's the dance of the bird. The bird's dance.
Swoops through the air, ultimately landing on Gideon, or attempting to anyway. Let's see if Lahonen has a response to it. Looks like he does. 2 mana, and it's another seal away.
He got caught in the web.
Yep. The seal web.
The seal web, yeah. Because seals cast web.
Yeah, they...
Yeah, cast webs.
Yeah. It's a little known fact, actually.
Yeah.
Seals and spiders...
From the ice flow, they cast the webs.
To catch the Arctic flies. A juicy treat for them here, and a juicy
yeah,
treat for Leo Lahonen is a concession from Simon Nielsen as his Chandra is ultimate ability disallowed.
As it was written in the book.
As it was written.
As it was written.
So it is written.
The prophecy.
The prophecy
is said
true.
Simon would concede on that turn, and that's what he did.
Let's have a look at the sideboards now for these players as they head to game number 2. Leo Lahonen, as expected, picking up game number 1 rather convincingly after, well, just absolutely rip-roaring around the field and giving Simon Nielsen a good old shellacking. Let's have a look at what's going on with Nielsen's sideboard. As you can see on your screen, 1 Angrath Flame Chained, 2 Chandra's Defeat, 1 Chandra Tortured Defiance, a Cut to Ribbons, a Doomfall, 3 copies of Duress, Fiery Cannonade, Glory Bringer, Heartless Pillage, Khan Sign of Urza, Release the Gremlins, and Vraska's Contempt. Now, I love the Duresses in this situation. I think Doomfall can also get it done just as an overcosted Duress as well. Angrath has done some work against Control, but I mean, apart from that, what else are you looking at here?
I think I would actually keep Abrade. Maybe Simon does not know about it, but I think Abrade is a key card in this matchup.
Yeah, and
because Spyglass has done a lot of work.
So much work.
Against Martin. If Martin at any point had an Abrade, that would have changed the game entirely. Maybe not at any point, but for a long time, Abrade would have won the game. So I think he will consider taking them out, thinking, maybe I don't really want them. But that's actually a pretty good card in this match. Not as a 4-off, but maybe 1 or 2. I would probably keep 1 or 2.
Let's talk about the easy cuts on Licensed Disintegration. 3 of them, get out of here. 2
Magma
copies
Spray,
of Magma Spray, easy, get out of here as well. I mean, Soulscar Mage, very low impact.
Very low impact, but there's also some kind of pressure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's attacking for 1 every turn, dude. Like, it's not doing any. You never trigger any prowess.
Dude, I know, dude.
Dude, man.
Dude, I know. Actually, you know what's better than Abrade? Release the Gremlins.
Yeah.
Could actually be better.
Yeah,
We deal with 2 Spyglass at a time.
At the same time. That's not a bad one.
I think that's actually better.
Okay.
It's not an instant, but Could work.
Got to maneuver yourself in a position to get that
Yep.
done. What about cut to ribbons?
Nah. What are you gonna kill your
Yeah,
own?
cut your own creature, ribbons them out.
I don't know.
No, you don't like it?
That's
All right. Well, at the moment we're looking at Angrath, a couple of duresses there, or the full 3 duresses. Doomfall.
you have 5 easy cuts from Magma Spray and Disintegration. Then you have also some other easy cut. No, I don't know. Kind of easy cuts. The mages. Maybe you can cut 1. So that would be 5. So that would be 6.
What about the Heartless Pillage there? That's obviously in situations
No,
for situations like this, right?
No, but yeah, and you cut all 4 braids for 1 release the gremlins. Which
Heartless
cards are?
Pillage? Target player discards 2 cards?
Yeah, in the beginning it could
Sorry,
be good.
target opponent discards 2 cards. I mean, good you can't target yourself
Yeah.
with it accidentally.
Yeah, I guess that could work. So that would be what? 6, 9, maybe 10 cards, and you bring Angrath, Chandra, Doomfall, Triple Duress, Pillage, Release the Gremlins, Raska, Karn, and the other Growlerbringer. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the position that we expect Nielsen to
Yeah.
take post-board. Let's have a look at Leo Lahonen. Ether, Meltdown, Authority of the Consuls, Fumigate, Gideon, all one-ofs. 4 copies of History of Benalia. We've seen that card do no work this weekend, unfortunately, for all fans of the Night Tribe. Invoke the Divine, 2 of, Triple Negate, and Double Sorcerer Spyglass. And Raph, you've already talked to us about the old Spyglass Arena. It's certainly done a lot of work.
Well, I like this card.
Mm.
This card is great.
Banned in
And-
Brawl.
Huh?
Too good in Brawl. Banned.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more.
Fans of the Brawl format will be weeping into this. Well, not into their Sorcerer Spyglasses. Have to look at without any
Sure.
magnification.
Sure.
But this card has done a lot of work in the matchup here, shutting off some of the really key threats from the
Yeah,
Black
Walking
Bird
Ballista, Heart of Kirin,
deck. Mhm.
Chandra, Karn. And we haven't seen Scrounger, but that's an option too.
Also gets it done there. What about the other things here? Invoke the Divine.
Invoke Divine, done a lot of good work as well, because sometimes Leo was a little bit low on life,
Mm-hmm.
and gaining 4 life, getting rid of a Heart of Kirin, for example.
And that's
is
why
pretty
he's
good.
gone for Invoke the Divine above, say, Forsake the Worldly, which
Yep.
arguably is better in situations where you're needing to navigate those tricky draws a little better.
Yeah, but you have targets. You'll find targets.
all right.
Either meltdowns. I think it's
Great answer for Heart of Kirin.
yeah, and even for the Phoenix, because I don't think Simon is gonna keep removal, so his
Mm.
Phoenix is gonna be stuck under the meltdown.
Mm.
He's gonna be melting a little bit. He's gonna be a little depressed.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Depressed
little
Phoenix.
sad little Phoenix there. Yeah. All right, and a Gideon of the Trials, of course, the slam dunk include as well in against a deck like this. Just raising that threat density.
However, I have no idea where to cut. This is something I know what he's gonna bring in.
Mm.
I don't know what he's gonna take out.
Well, we will find out as these two ready themselves for game number 2 here. We do expect Leo Lahonen to be heavily favoured heading into this second game, and he could just be moments away from a GP trophy if Nielsen cannot bring the goods and pull something special out of the ether here. And look at that, an appeal to the 9 divines above.
To the prophecy. to
Well,
the-
I
to-
hope. Yeah, I don't think he's appealing to the prophecy,
No,
because the
he-
prophecy really just has him
it's-
tagged to bag.
No, the prophecy's been written.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's calling.
he's appealing to the
To the writer of the prophecy.
yeah, saying, buddy, please.
Just edit.
Just a quick edit.
Quick edit.
Just can we revisit this script just a little bit? I love so much of it. Love the voice actor that you've got to do the audio
thank
version.
you.
That sounds fantastic.
Thank you.
But not so hot on the outcome there. Can we rework that? Just workshop that a little bit. He's saying.
Yeah,
And now-
the copies have been recorded already.
Yeah,
they're on the tracks.
It's kind of difficult, man. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's on its way to the press. This prophecy is the prophecy train doesn't slow down.
Who knows? Maybe there's a problem with the shipment, and we have to record them again.
Recall?
We lose the files, and
Yeah,
yeah.
anything could happen here. Well, we're going to see now these players getting ready to go with game number 2. The prophecy doesn't slow down, and the shuffling certainly couldn't slow down too much more than it's happening right now as these players share a friendly chat. Maybe have a chat about where they're going to go and have their dinner.
Or maybe about the pre-game 2 handshake.
Oh, we're going to see a pre-game 2 handshake.
The prophecy doesn't say it. There's going to be a.
Oh, come on, let's go
pre-game
off
2.
script, boys. Handshake.
No,
No.
pre-game 2 handshake.
Dealing out their 7 here, and let's have a look what these chefs have cooked up here. Nielsen slowly Having a look at his opening hand here. He's got a couple of lands, couple of spells. All right, all right.
Yeah, it's
Is it 5 lands?
it's a couple spell, like literally.
Yeah,
a couple
an
of
actual
spells.
literal couple. Oh dear. Okay, Lahonen on the other hand. See what he's working with. He's playing those cards very, very difficult to see, but
That's
they're
both
both going to
keep-
keep
yep.
them. All right, okay, off we go here with what could be potentially the final game of the final match in this tournament. It's been 3 rip-roaring days of Magic across 2 formats and 25 years of Magic's history, but it's going to come down to this one here. Simon Nielsen, Leo Lahonen,
Oh, that was
black-red vehicles versus white-blue control. Heart of Kieran being opening up the play here. And a
that
Sorcerer's
was actually
Spyglass
3
now
spells.
from
That was
Lahonen.
actually 3 spells. There was a Heart of Kieran along with Chandra and the Phoenix.
So Sorcerer's Spyglass revealing the hand of Simon Nielsen here. We'll see what it's named. Look at that. Nielsen helpfully
That's the
ready.
Heart of Kieran sailing away.
Oh, away in
And
the
this-
Spyglass.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. And Nielsen here is going to helpfully. Wow, look at this. Prepare the pen and paper for the Spyglass.
It's very nice. It's very
That's
kind.
Very kind. What a kind-hearted soul he is indeed. Not a shred of irony to that. I don't know if you haven't had the pleasure of meeting Simon Nielsen, this guy's just one of the biggest hearts in Magic.
He's a cool guy.
He is a
He's
great
he's a cool
dude.
guy.
He's a great dude.
Hook.
Oh, look at
Oh,
this big
look
old
at
heart.
this.
on
Heart
the
of
thing.
Kieran.
Oh, that's very sweet.
That's the heart.
So, Leo Lahonen, Sorcerer's Spyglass, naming Heart of Kieran, and you can tell that Simon Nielsen is taking this $10,000 match with a big smile on his face there. Draws for the turn.
Another land.
See what he wants to do with his turn 3 here. Lahonen does have pretty good information about what's going on in
If
the
he
hand of the Dane.
If he could, he would have given him his actual heart to put on the card. That's how nice he is.
Yeah, well, that would
It would have been a little messy.
that would
but
impact our ESRB rating for this stream. I would have thought, yeah, a little bit messy on the playmat there. Scrap heap scrounge of the play, and you can see how good the Sorcerer's Spyglass is. It's just saved Lahonen's 4 life here. In comes the old Scroungerino. In for 3. Lahonen down to 17.
Yeah.
Four mana now, and Nielsen
Yeah, not a great hand actually from Nielsen. He doesn't have a fourth land.
from Lahonen.
Lehonen, yeah. What did I say?
Nielsen.
Oh, then Lehonen.
Nielsen's hand is getting better
Yeah,
and
yeah.
better. He's drawn a Walking Ballista, which he's going to deploy here. It's going to either disallow, but if Lahonen doesn't have an answer for this Chandra, well,
He has a negate.
okay.
He's going to take another 3.
This is how
Yes,
Lahonen loses this match.
He has some time though.
This is how he loses this game, Raf. Missing land drops.
Yeah.
Had some good fortune with that in the past here. Ether Hub going to gain a little bit of energy there.
So what the prophecy says? The lands
I
you
haven't
should
read
draw.
I haven't read the small text, to be honest. I kind of skimmed it.
yeah.
It was late, man. I was tired. So Nielsen now with the opportunity to slam jam this Chandra. We'll see what the Scrounger does first. Gets in for 3, and this is the thing. Lahonen cannot deal with this.
But he has negate and essence scatter.
So the Rekindling
This is going to
Phoenix.
be essence scattered.
Lahonen has to draw lands here, though. He has to draw a land. He finds an island.
But he has some time. He's not under tons of pressure. A 3 a turn is not so bad. It's not so bad. A 3 Planeswalker, but Planeswalker at...
Well, he's going to get the opportunity to resolve one of them here if Lahonen
to
doesn't
get
put
it-
him on negate. But
negate, yeah.
he's got the negate to deal with this Khan here, and Lahonen has waited to use the seal away at a time where he can still have 2 mana to protect
Is that a
himself from the next
Fifth
play.
land for Teferi, or... 5th land for Teferi would probably seal the game here.
And Lahonen is just going from
Oh, no.
strength to strength here. This is incredible. He's pulling Nielsen apart limb from limb,
Commit would buy him a turn to draw his 5th land.
answering every threat that Nielsen has here. Look at this. He's got a handful of stone cold gasoline, jet fuel, in the form of those 3 different 4 drops.
They're 4 mana sorceries, so historically never been very good against permission decks.
I guess that's a fair assessment, Rav. Can't sign a Versa now for Lahonen.
There were a lot of cards, good cards against control, but
Going to deal with it with this commit to memory.
if they're not instants, they're not very good.
Slaughter games.
Yeah, well, if they can be countered, well, Slaughter Games was not actually that good against control. That was okay, but that was not.
It was okay.
That was not. Here's the 5th land, and
And
oh,
it's Gideon.
no,
with
that
the
was not
trials
Teferi. That was
now. All right.
that was Gideon.
So double protection on that
all
heart.
right. That's not. That's not so bad.
That achy breaky heart
Chandra,
is all locked up.
Chandra could do some work.
So finally, a threat resolves here for Nielsen. And he's going to follow it up
Right,
with
this one is
a
not.
Rekindling Phoenix, but this one is going to eat an Essence Scatter. Jeez, Lahonen's done well to keep himself in this. A relentless flurry of threats here from Nielsen, but Lahonen has kept pace.
Yeah.
And we're going to see now a Field of Ruin on the Spire of Industry.
Also, no. Oh, yes. It still has access to one black mana, but is Nielsen? Nielsen's playing a swamp.
And Nielsen pointing out the fact that he did indeed bring in that Heartless Pillage. Finds the swamp.
For someone who gives away a heart, that's
yeah,
that's
entirely
a flavor
appropriate.
fail.
No, it's entirely appropriate. He gave away a heart. He is now heartless.
Oh,
he doesn't have his heart anymore.
That's a
so it's all going.
Flavor win.
It's all going perfectly to plan here for Nielsen. His heart is non-functional, so the pillage is now online.
Attacking Chandra now.
Yep. Gideon comes across. Chandra unable to contest Gideon in the way that Gideon can contest Chandra. Nielsen's going to send Chandra upstairs, and another Scrap Heap Scrounger here.
They cannot defend Chandra.
No, cannot block. Going to come into play, however, all the same for the Dane. And now Lahonen
Is Chandra going to die this turn?
untaps the Gideon after he draws. Classic move. That's just good, clean magic.
Wow. Oh.
And away goes the Chandra.
That's painful. That's,
Gideon cleaning her
that's
up there.
very painful. No cards needed to deal with Chandra. In a matchup when you
keep swinging.
In a matchup when you really need your threats to stick around, having them dealt with like a card that doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
Sell the wreckage now. Oh.
Yeah, this is carnage here. Gideon is just relentlessly charging forward, and Lahonen has all the answers to keep the board nice and clear for old Beef Slab to do his best work.
Like Karn wouldn't do anything. Chandra would not do anything. The creatures would not do anything. He's drawing very slim, Simon.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that's going to actually help him out in this situation.
He needs 2 creatures to attack because Gideon would take care of 1.
Gideon locks down one of them. And again, this Heart of Kieran still stuck under the Sorcerer Spyglass. Here's a Chandra.
Okay.
And Lahonen without an answer to it so
finding
far.
a blocker. Does he have any blocker left? No, it's
Canyon Slough. To ya.
12 life to go.
Yep.
and Gideon is just going to attack Chandra again.
Down to 1. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Poor old Simo here. Having a tricky time. See what's on the top of his library now. As players continue. Back to Lahonen. Draws. Finds.
Another Settle or Fumigate?
I think he's just got Ross for days here. I think it's both.
Fumigate.
Yeah, it's both cards. And Nielsen now. The door drawing ever closer. Ballista off the
so
top.
that's one of the answers. That's Fumigate and Invoke the Divine. So can he do it for 4 this turn?
You can do it at least for 3. Can't do it for 4.
Oh.
He's going to cast it here for just for 1. All right.
1.
What's in his hand? Oh,
yes. That's what I was. That's what I wanted to mention.
Yeah, so 2 red hot cards off the top of Nielsen's library.
Needed.
This is how it begins.
Yeah.
And Lahonen.
All
right.
right.
To say about it. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Let's see. What happened to this guy?
It doesn't die.
All right.
It's not.
It's not that. It's not that.
It's not Stoke the Flames, dude.
Like, oh, I'm so used to have my.
So Glorybringer does get it done, but here's a Fumigate now. Nielsen's going to ping Lahonen for 1, so the life total is going to stay the same now.
And now Chandra is uncontested.
Yeah. Chandra can
Glorybringer, great draw.
Can start to do some work, and that explains that little sequence there. Nielsen does very well to draw 2 pretty relevant cards in one go. So Nielsen, play the land, buddy. Play the land, man. He hits a Walking Ballista. It's going to be awkward, but it's a Goblin Chain Whirler.
He's doing well here. He's coming back in this game.
Rallying a little bit.
That Glorybringer did a lot of work.
Going to cycle away this Canyon Slough here. Draw another card. Love those cycling lands. So good to see. See what he can find at the top of his library here. Wisely leaving his Ether Hub untapped. Canyon Slough draws a card. Didn't get to see it there.
Another one.
But a Piano Lara as well.
Well, he's on fire. He's not losing this one.
Well, this is going very, very well indeed. Lahonen.
Teferi here, is it doing anything?
Teferi is...
the advantage board, all of a sudden.
All of a sudden?
Wow, he
Nielsen.
was.
Oh, what's that? He can sniff on the wind.
Is that you?
It's
What?
the slightest whiff of victory. Potential here for Simon Nielsen. We thought he was out for the count, but...
He's doing just fine here. Isn't he winning next turn? Does he have lethal next turn?
So let's see now.
I think when the game turned when Leo played his Settle the Wreckage on the Scrounger. Because I don't think he had to do it.
He could have taken a hit or two to see to get a little bit more out of Nielsen there.
Because Gideon was not dying yet.
No.
So
Well, here's Teferi.
he was a little early for that.
Card off the top. Didn't get a good look at it. It's going to untap 2 lands over this Teferi. And Lahonen's going to pass with 4 mana up unless he's got a further play to make. But Nielsen with Lahonen on an effective 9, thanks to this Chandra, is going to attack in for...
I think he's attacking for lethal here.
Because he can pump that Thopter up.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
So
Can
Chandra for 2 damage, 9?
Can Nielsen steal
That's possible.
a victory here? Another Pia is just going to go upstairs for 2.
Yeah. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Dead on board.
Yeah, that would be even 1 extra damage.
Dead on board.
One extra.
Lahonen, however, has cards in hand and mana untapped. So
No, he has
it's
one
not
of
over.
one of the cards in his hand is Invoke the Divine.
Okay,
So when he's pumping the that's gonna hurt.
that's gonna hurt, man.
Oh no, but he has 1 extra mana. He has 1 extra life. That's so relevant. Leo is gonna be on 9, and he only has to pump for 1, 2, 3 times. So he can keep mana to sacrifice the
Thopter, yeah.
Thopter, yeah.
We're gonna see Pianola cast here to make another Thopter.
All right. So not my line then.
Okay. So the Pia. Oh,
Ooh, look at this
as well. Take care of that Teferi there, using his energy from the Ether Hub to power out that double black spell.
Wow, this game turned around so quickly.
Yeah, a really favourable string of draws here for Nielsen. And he can still sacrifice the Thopter if it's targeted with Invoke the Divine. Here's the attack,
And
keeping back the
even playing
Pia.
around Settle the Wreckage.
So Goblin Chainwhirler and Thopter coming in for 4 here. Lahonen's life total safe on 11 for now, at least. And he's just going to take it as well. Had a good old think about it. Back to Lahonen. And Nielsen drawing closer to a victory that we would have thought was not something that was on the table for him, Raf Levy.
Wow.
The finals of GP Birmingham providing us with some pretty fantastic moments here. My goodness.
That was a good sequence of draws for Simon.
Oh, yeah. Heart of Kieran off the top, perhaps a little bit of a bust there.
All right, 2 damage.
Dragon Skull Summit goes upstairs for 2. Lahonen down to 5 now. So Nielsen can pull the trigger on a big attack here if he so chooses.
He's going to attack for lethal.
This Thopter is a lethal threat by itself, thanks to the ability of Pianola.
Oh, no. Oh, yes.
And very handily.
Just the 1 Thopter would have been the wrong attack.
Why is that?
Because he would have had to tap out to pump, leaving the Invoke the Divine.
So, Nielsen presents a lethal clock to Leo Lahonen, who does have the Invoke the Divine, and as a result will be able to stymie it for at least this turn. But here's a...
He's drawing 2 cards, yeah.
Memorial to Genius activation. Draws 2 cards. Finds a
Judy
cast
casts
out. Invoke the Divine, and that looks like an Ether Meltdown hanging out the back of his hand.
It's a Pull from Eternity.
Pull from Eternity. All right.
No, Pull from Tomorrow.
Pull
Stop
from
with this card. Stop telling Pull from Eternity.
And Nielsen will sacrifice the Thopter in response to prevent Lahonen from gaining life. Chainwhirler hits him down now. 2.
So if Leo draws a what is it? Fumigate?
It's going to be very difficult for Nielsen to
It's either Fumigate or Settle.
push through with creatures. That Chandra is a lethal threat on its own right now as well. So Lahonen needs something. He needs something special. Nielsen has just had the most obscenely good string of draws here as we see Chandra get eaten up by that cast out. Lahonen keeping himself in it here.
This one. He's with only one card. He cannot even draw, for example, the one of his outs and a Seal Away or a Ether Meltdown.
Cycles a Canyon Slough. And we'll see how Nielsen wants to finish this
turn.
one off. 3 lethal creatures here. Looks like the Thopter may be going it alone. Going to send the Chainwhirler as well for good measure, are we, Si? Yes, indeed we are. Pia staying back to guard the fort. And let's see here. Does Lahonen have anything to say about this? He does not. He picks up his cards. We're going to game 3. Look at that. Truly dramatic magic here in the finals of GP Birmingham.
Thou shall battle till the end.
Yes, so it is written.
So it is written.
So let it be done.
Prophecy.
So let it be done. Game number 3 between Simon Nielsen and Leo Lahonen. And here we saw now Nielsen's approach, overloading his deck with threats and then managing to string enough of them together to overcome Lahonen, who just didn't have the answers. Now, I was really impressed by the way that Lahonen kept himself above water for the first the early onslaught.
That was good.
2-mana counterspells pulling a lot of like double duty there.
The key to that game was that Lahonen could not find a way to make card advantage. Because that's how he wins. He wins because he plays Teferi, he draws 2 cards a turn, and he deals with all your threats one by one until he plays Settle the Wreckage or Fumigate. But as we've seen, except for the Gideon attacking Chandra, that was great. Except for that, it was a 1-for-1. Settle Wreckage was a 1-for-1. And then Simon finally managed to play a threat that was unanswered, and that was good enough. That was the Glorybringer.
Leo Lahonen cannot reasonably expect to win games where he goes 1-for-1 with everything.
No.
He needs repeatable sources of card advantage like Teferi. He needs massive sources of card advantage like Pull from Tomorrow. And unfortunately for him, he couldn't stitch them together, and Nielsen was able to apply enough pressure. I mean, this is not a regular outcome, I would say. I don't know if it's a bad draw from Lahonen or a particularly good one from Simon
Nielsen. Well, this is not a 100% matchup, but it's a very favorable matchup. So you can lose sometimes.
That was even without Nielsen finding those duresses, finding that extra early disruption that he needs to really contest the white-blue control deck. So anything can happen, and it tends to as well.
Well, last game, Simon gave him his heart. The very next game, I don't know what's going to happen.
We'll see how things shake out now in game number 3 here at GP Birmingham. The format is standard. Yesterday, we finished off a dramatic and tumultuous legacy tournament by crowning Gary Campbell, the godfather of Scottish Magic, with as the GP Birmingham Legacy champion. And today we're about to do the same thing with Standard. My name's Riley Knight. I'm joined by Raphael Levy in the booth. Certainly it's a great pleasure to have your company from around the world, wherever you are choosing to join us here in the UK. It's been quite a long and exciting weekend of Magic, and these double-headed GP weekends are just action from the get-go, huh?
Thou shall witness the last game.
Are you trying to say thou?
Thou. I like thou.
Though?
Though. When I was playing video games when I was small, I was barely speaking in English.
Yeah.
I always thought it was two.
Yeah, right.
THOU, because well, you know that
Two shalt not kill.
two shall not.
Yeah.
I never understood what that meant.
Yeah, it's just an old version of you, right?
Two.
Yeah.
Two.
And these two having a good old giggle down in the feature match area as well. Looks like Neil Rigby's in on the joke.
So how do you pronounce it? Thou.
Thou.
Thou shall wash. Thou shall witness.
Thou shalt witness
the pinnacle of
the game 3.
The pinnacle of this match.
But what a weekend it's been. There's been highs, there's been lows. We've had smiles, we've had frowns. There's been ups and downs, there's been smiles, frowns. There's been laughs, there's been tears, Raf. little bit of everything. Fun for the whole family here at GP Birmingham. And quite aside from all the magic you've seen on your screen, it's been a celebration of the game we all love, and certainly is fantastic to have involvement from people around the world watching on Twitch, people turning up from miles around here in the UK to come and try their hand at a side event, a draft, or a double-up event.
Most of the time I would say, no, there were no tears, but they were actual tears.
There were actual literal
last
tears.
night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There were actual literal tears in the feature match area. For those of you who didn't see what happened last night as Gary won the Legacy, there is so much to get across. It was, I mean, this is not an ounce of hyperbole for me. It was the highlight of my broadcasting career, being able to watch Gary Campbell, one of the leading figures in Scottish Magic and one of the most respected members of the local community here, take out the entire thing. He had a 40-strong army of proud Scots behind him, as we called that final, and they just about went off their heads when he finally hoisted the trophy there. And there were tears. There were tears to get across, and so if you haven't seen them, I'm sure the video on demand service on Twitch, you'll be able to get across them there, twitch.tv/magic. Jump up and watch all of the Day 2 action of the Legacy Grand Prix, but especially get across that top 8 because, oh my goodness me, what a moment it was. But right now, it's all about standard. These two going to open up the account with their starting sevens, and we will see how things go.
At 8:30 in the evening, that extra hour of sleep, man, that might
may make the difference.
Relevant, yeah.
Yep, Simon Nielsen did sleep through the first round and still managed to make the top 8. So this guy is really
top 2.
The top 2. He's made it all the way to the final after having a nice little sleep in. It's a sleep in special of a different kind, right?
The sleep in's very special. The very special sleep in.
Special sleep in for a special boy here. Simon Nielsen does have the duress in his opening hand. Is he going to be able to cast it in a timely manner? I don't see a number of lands in his hand. At least 2 here.
There are not a lot of ways to cast a turn 1 duress.
No. Ether Hub,
actually,
more or less the only one. Yeah. Cast out cycled away here for Lahonen. He may be looking to...
Is that only a one?
We see a double Sorceress Spyglass.
There's no more land. There's no third land.
No third land in Lahonen's hand. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to Leo Lahonen, the Lord Mayor of Loose Keep City here.
Well, he had a cast out.
Cycled it away there.
He had to cast out and 2 more. He has another draw to draw a third land, but even then, his hand is not actually... I don't think it's that good.
Let's have a look at Nielsen's hand here. P and La Glory Bringer, Mountain Walking Ballista, Khan Sign of Urza. We've got a Scrap Heap Scrounger, and finally a Duress. Got Leo Lahonen's big noggin in the way of the cards there, but he's going to get to name whichever card he so chooses.
Oh, he has another
Spyglass in hand. Looks like we're going to see another Simon Nielsen original here. Look at that. The man truly is an artiste. And I pronounce that with an E at the end.
It would be the Robo Boogie here, if he calls the...
Yep. Time for a binary solo here, Raf. And we are going to see Baby Khan. At least that's the illustration that Nielsen is making here. He's going to fill it in a little more here. Oh, yeah, very important to put that loincloth on. Keep his Robo dignity intact.
It looks like a...
And it will be
a wrestling champion belt.
It does indeed. And it looks like Simon Nielsen has answered the age-old problems that artists throughout the years have faced. Very difficult to draw hands, yeah?
Yeah, no hands.
So the problem there, just don't draw them.
Yeah.
Just don't even draw them.
That's actually that's my thing too.
No, like this is a legitimate thing. Artists who find it very hard to draw hands just always draw them like hidden by like either behind the back or in the pockets or anything else like that. Scrap Heap Scrounger now for Nielsen opting to hold off that duress for at least another turn. And can Lahonen find that third land?
He does.
He does.
All right, so we have a game going on.
So third land now for Leo Lahonen.
So you can play Ether Meltdown and Cycle Cast Out on this turn.
This is not a great hand for Lahonen. He's hoping to make it look a little bit better. We'll go back to Nielsen now.
It's not actually that bad now that he has the third land.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely wants to see more action. First a fourth land and then more action.
So, Scrap Heap Scrounger going to do the Robo Boogie here. And cycling away a cast out. Lahonen perhaps looking for a seal away. Ether Meltdown, however, is going to answer his robot problem. So let's see now what Nielsen's follow-up is. I think it's going to be a duress here.
Yep.
It's a nice one. Cast out, Sorcerer's Spyglass, pull from tomorrow, and a Fumigate. The options here for Simon Nielsen. Duress first printed in Urza's Saga.
Yep.
Got that one right. Shooting from the hip there, and now reprinted in Ixalan, as you can see. Been around for a long time, Raf.
Yeah, we had that trivia.
I know, I was
Like
cheating a
2
little bit.
games
We've
ago.
already
Yeah, so,
covered that.
yeah.
I know. Well, what about people who may not have been
Wow,
watching? They're gonna.
how did you know?
Oh,
wow,
Raf, look, it's
that's-
my job. So it's my job. 16,000 cards have been printed in Magic. I know them all. Know every single one.
All right.
If only we had time for me to name every single card and what it does, but look, we have to crack on. Got to press on with the coverage here with the broadcast of the finals here of GP Birmingham. Of course, best of 3. So this is the deciding guys playing for all the marbles on your screen. 10,000 of them, in fact. These guys both going to the Pro Tour, of course. Pro Tour Spaghetti in Atlanta later on in the year. You'll be there, Raf?
I will be there. Yeah.
I'll be there as well.
I think it will be my 99th PT.
99th Pro
Yeah.
Tour. You got 99 problems, but a Pro Tour ain't one. 99 Pro Tours, but a problem ain't one? That one really didn't come together.
No.
Do you get a letter from Richard Garfield when you get to your 100th Pro Tour?
Maybe
Just
I
like
get,
the Queen
maybe
writes
I
to you when
get-
you're 100?
I get a wave.
A little wave out the royal carriage of the good doctor as he goes
Yeah,
past.
Maybe.
So now Nielsen, after having been that Fumigate, how do you get Fumigate? It's with the duress
Oh, it replaced right away by another Fumigate.
off the top here. Lahonen going to cycle away another cast out. Needs to draw a land here. Has he found it? He
Yeah,
has.
he
Meandering
did.
River. Oh no, it's irrigated farmland, excuse me.
So are you calling the ballista here?
With the Sorcerer's Spyglass.
Oh, and Simon.
All I want to see is another piece of work from Simon Nielsen, man. Oh, please. Simon. No, man. Get the paper. Draw a picture. Yes.
He's gonna. I think it's gonna look very much like the Karn. If he draws a ballista, how
yeah.
is he gonna do
How
that?
are we going to do this? All right, Nielsen. What are we going to see here? We've already seen Heart of Kieran, and then his difficult second album was a lot more, a lot more complicated. He really developed and grew as an artist, I felt. Complicated sort of line work, a lot of ideas expressed in his work throughout this second period. And now we'll see Nielsen move on to that third era in his career as an artist.
I think it's more. Small. This is
Boo.
This is Art Nouveau.
Boo. Oh no. Okay. Well, it's a combination
Chandra,
here.
Yeah, Chandra. Yeah, this is this Chandra. Oh yeah.
I don't like to throw shade at players in the feature match area. I don't like to arbitrarily criticize the way that they conduct themselves.
Yeah.
That to me seems like a cop out.
Oh what?
A cop out. That seems like he's not doing his best work.
Yeah.
Simon Nielsen, shame on you. Doomfall off the top here for Nielsen. Another way to continue to disrupt.
All gas, yeah, and
Lahonen's
Leo's hand is not. It's not great.
No, what's he holding on to here?
Fumigate and pull from eternity.
Pull from eternity.
Pull from tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow is in a long time, I know, but it's still tomorrow.
Certainly feels like a little bit more of a eternity here,
Yeah.
as we see now. Walking Ballista, joined by Pia and her Thopter friend here.
Oh. Cell wreckage and fumigate. Oh, that Doomfall is gonna do a lot of work. Do you draw 2 cards here? No, you don't.
So pull, fumigate, settle the wreckage here, and let's see what Nielsen wants to go after here.
Simon is doing well in this game. So what do you take? You take fumigate here, and you play around the settle.
See what he wants to do now with this Doomfall. He has gone to town on Lahonen's hand, which has never looked particularly good, even after drawing that third land when we thought he might have had a sniff.
Yeah, I think you go for fumigate here, because you can't play around the settle, and even then, if you attack with the token, the Thopter token and the Walking Ballista, actually pretty happy to get 2 lands.
So Doomfall will exile a card out of Lahonen's hand. And Pull from Tomorrow is not doing a huge amount here.
So what, catalog? No. Catalog is draw 2, discard 1.
Yeah.
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 Catalog.
That's a catalog. Lahonen not having a great time. Fumigate is the call here. That's just as you said, Simon Nielsen making the same call as Raphael Levy, which is a good spot to be in, I have to say, at any point.
It's the best spot.
The best spot to be.
Unless I'm wrong.
You're in that spot a fair bit.
And he attacks with both artifacts. So far, so good.
All right, Raph Levy shooting from the hip, and it's mono hits here for the Frenchman.
Alley hoop.
The Dane also getting it done now with these attacks. The Thopter and the Walking Ballista. And Lahonen now with a tricky decision to make. Do you fire off the
No,
cell?
you don't. Now you have to pull from Eternity. You have to find some action here. Oh, no. No, you don't.
Just go straight to the draw step. Well, they can't all be winners, kid.
Yeah. Well, I'm only good on one side.
Finds the Glacial Fortress now. We're going to see the Scrap Heap Scrounger sacrificed with using the ability of PNLR. Gets rid of that Ether Meltdown, and of course that Scrap Heap may come back for another tilt at the windmill a bit later on. Back to Nielsen now. Finds a Heart of Kieran off the top. His hand is overloaded with potent threats, and we'll see what he wants to do with this turn.
Angrath is very good here because Leo does not have a lot of cards, and discarding a card turn is going to hurt.
Yeah, it's the opposite of old mate Teferi, drawing an extra card, discarding a card every turn.
Teferi doesn't gain life though.
Going to really turn the screws, and a big attack now for Nielsen. He does want those extra lands. He's trying to tempt Lahonen into playing this settle, and this is a juicy peach here. He's going to do it. You have to do it. So away go these 3 creatures, but it looks like Nielsen is just wanting 2 extra lands. He's going to ding Lahonen for 1 with the Walking Ballista. Go and snag himself a couple of little cards out the library.
Simon might be the hero the prophecy talked about.
He may be. Ultimately, we've been reading this prophecy upside down the whole time, Raph. That may be what it proves to be. We'll see. And now, Swamp Mountain for Nielsen. Just to make sure he has access to plenty of black mana. We did see that he brought in Vraska's Contempt, and he's going to be able to wheel those black spells at a time of his choosing. Now,
have you noticed how Leo played his Settle the Wreckage?
Just with an air of resignation.
Yeah,
I would say.
Well, I have it, so
yeah, I got to do it. So Heart of Kieran, Nielsen in a terrific position here. As Lahonen has to essentially draw a counterspell this turn.
Oh no! Drawing a land was much better.
Okay, all right.
Drawing a land was actually very good.
He's going to get to. Nielsen's going to get to resolve his Angrath.
That's almost okay.
It's almost okay.
No, he's going to take 7 this turn. Oh no, he's going to take 9 this turn.
It's taking a lot of damage, man. Because Angrath, the Flame Chained, is going to come down for Simon Nielsen. Lahonen with only a pull from Tomorrow in hand. He's going to pull in response here.
He's going to take 9 this turn.
And we're going to see Scrap Heap Scrounger and Heart of Kieran get in there. So,
4 cards.
Draw 4, discard 1 here for Lahonen.
Yeah.
And then discard another 1 to the Angrath the Flame Chained. Take 2. And then another 7 here from Nielsen.
Yes, 9 damage, yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Simon Nielsen, inches away from a GP championship. What does Lahonen have in hand? It's got to be something good. It's just a disallow.
That extra hour of sleep.
That extra hour of sleep here. Simon Nielsen sleeping through round number 9, but staying well and truly awake all the way through to the final here.
Hour for the ages.
And it's a Heartless Pillage, which may be the last card cast in this match. Disallow for Leo Lahonen, but all Simon Nielsen has to do, crew the vehicle, an attack, and an extension of the hand. Simon Nielsen, the champion of GP Birmingham. It is an unbelievable turn of events, ladies and gentlemen. The prophecy was wrong.
The hero woke up late.
The hero slept through his alarm, got here just in time for round number 10. He can't believe his luck. Angrath the Flame Chain, and look at this. Simon Nielsen has got the giggles. Full credit, however, to Leo Lahonen. A worthy adversary fighting to the death, but what a huge moment here because, of course, Raph, as we welcome the viewers back to the booth here, we had him pegged as the winner. Blue-white control, just such a great matchup against the black-red vehicles deck there, but ultimately Simon Nielsen able to pull together something incredibly special. I don't think anyone was expecting that.
Yeah, there's been a callback on all the prophecy stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
to rewrite it. Yeah, to add a little edit.
Re-record those audio books because, my goodness me.
Yeah, after game 1, I thought it was finished. Game 2 started so well for Leo. He had it.
Yeah.
And then one turn, like Glorybringer, more stuff, more action.
Yeah,
and
walking ballista, and all of a sudden,
Gideon dead. Oh,
just an incredible reversal here, and a magnificent rally from Simon Nielsen. Let's get across the winning deck list. Raphael Levy, understand you're going to be stepping out of the booth now as we welcome the champion into the hot seat here to have a chat about what went on. The list that this Danish juggernaut has played is on the screen there for us all to enjoy. Simon Nielsen, please, my friend, sit down, join me, whack that on your noggin, plonk yourself onto the seat, and we'll have a chat about this quite astonishing victory. First of all, congratulations. So many questions to get across here.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Riley.
Oh, mate, well done indeed. Let's talk most important things first. We've got to get across here now. Your last name's Nielsen. Any relation to Teresa based on the artwork we saw from you in the feature match area today?
Nielsen is literally the most popular last name in Denmark.
So
there are 850 people named Simon Nielsen in Denmark.
It really is that right?
Yes.
And so the artist is it the
no, like it's just
natural, natural for you because that was really beautiful, mate. Talk us through the win.
Oh, is it Teresa Nielsen art on the hardest village or like?
Well, no, just you doing the Sorcerer's Spyglass drawings. It was.
Yeah, they're like pretty close to it. Yeah,
pretty close. Listen, talk to us about the win. Unexpected, fair to say, going into this matchup. I mean, how did you think your chances were?
I don't think my chances were very good because I didn't play Bowman Courier, which is the best card against blue-white. So I actually think that Leo, who's by the way a really good friend of mine, like 2 weeks ago, like I was staying with him actually at the GP Bologna, so it's pretty crazy to meet him in the finals. But and I have like 12 cards I want to board out, but post-board it really like changes the dynamic.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, some missed landers from Leo, and then I got it out. Like Angrath and Hardest Pillage were just
Oh yeah, yeah. We didn't think Heartless Pillage would be winning a GP.
No,
but
I was so funny because I was joking about it like the entire match.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna mind read you.
Yeah. You gotta get
then
him.
it's like the card I actually draw when he has 2 cards in hand.
I want to ask you something else as well.
Yeah.
You picked up 2 losses today. The first one, or one of them was
I picked up 1 loss today. 1 loss yesterday.
So 1 loss to Mono Black Control.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Such a sweet deck though. Like I got hit by Torment of Hailfire for X equals 17.
Oh, that's not a good
That was
feeling.
so much fun. Yeah.
And the second loss was to an opponent, your alarm clock.
Yeah, it was to my alarm clock. That's my worst matchup.
Very strong player. That one, absolutely.
I cannot defeat that. Yeah, basically, like this morning, right? I woke up and not to my alarm clock, and I was like, "That's weird. It's awfully bright, isn't it? What's the time?" And it's 8:56, like 4 minutes before the round starts.
Yeah.
So I immediately panic, but then I calm myself down, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess I just have to take the loss. And I just didn't rush myself. I just packed my bag and went out the GP. Like arrived like before round 10 started. Made sure that I was still in the tournament and not dropped. So
this is what we wanted to ask you because Raf brought this up kind of as a joke, but it may have played into it. You had an extra hour's sleep this morning.
That's true. Like sleep-in special both days.
Yeah, the special sleep-in for the special boy. That's it. Well, listen, congratulations. You've had an absolute rip-roar of a day. You've had a great tournament.
Yeah,
and
even like the sweat for drawing it, like getting in top 8.
Yeah,
I was 8th on breakers.
8th on breakers.
When I drew with Martin, and I offered the draw when I was behind in game 1. Like I was dead on board, and before I took my last draw step, which could have been a lethal burn spell, I offered the draw. And then he took it, and I was like, okay, that's 50-50 for me at this point. So just walking around the venue, like, I don't know if I'm in top 8 or not.
Well, dramatic weekend for you, and certainly
it's so crazy.
Well, about the best result you get. 10K in the pocket. And,
yeah, exactly.
Another.
Like, I thought I was going to miss gold this season, but like now I'm 1 point short.
Well on your way. All right, there we go. Well, Simon, I'll get you to sit there for just a sec as we close out the show because, of course, it is time to bring things at long last to an end here at GP Birmingham. It's certainly been a great pleasure to bring you live coverage of the event throughout these 3 days across Legacy and Standard. Our heartfelt thanks go out to all of the people who were involved in the success of the event, and of course, most of all, that includes you, the viewer at home. On a personal note, I'd like to thank all of the very, very talented coverage team that I'm privileged to work with at each of these events. And of course, I'd like to remind you that at the end of the day, Simon, we're all winners.
Yeah.
Also,
can I thank literally every single one of my opponents? You've all been so nice throughout the event. Like this has been like so enjoyable to play this event.
Well, of course, walking away with the hardware isn't too bad as well.
That's
That's just
true.
about that, my friends. We'll see you next week in Toronto for more Magic. Until then, this is Riley Knight on behalf of the coverage team saying good night from Birmingham.